this for our colleagues who are not yet here. Okay, so I share screen. Welcome to Professional English Part 2 of Writing. Just to recall that this is the second part of our writing series, and the material from this module is taken from the free PDF series, which is available online, or from me, if you ask me. Okay, so in the last session, we talked about how to use a dictionary, either a paper dictionary or better still, an online dictionary. And we talked about how to apply punctuation rules and why it's important. We also practiced using punctuation, and I think everybody worked hard to try to apply the punctuation rules to the examples that I gave you. Today we will talk about two things. We'll talk about parts of speech, which is an important part of English grammar, and we will talk about sentence structure, and we will briefly talk about what makes an English sentence work, and how to identify the parts of an English sentence. First, we will do some revision. Can everybody see the annotate button on your screen? If you are using a laptop, you should be able to see the annotate button. Can you try to use the annotate button? If you look at the top bar of your screen, it says you are looking at my screen. If you click on the side, the arrow pointing down, it should say more, then you should be able to click on annotate. Can you try to find the annotate button? It's shaped like a pencil.
Yes, I found it.
Yep, okay. Everybody else, Mana Mada, Mount Mariano, have you got the annotate button? Hi, Mount Ricky, welcome. Mana Lucia, welcome. Oops, thank you. Very good. Thanks, Manamada. You got the annotate. Excellent. Can I see somebody else? Who's the red person? Mount Mariano. Very good. Come, everybody, please make your mark. I'm going to ask you to make annotations. Mount Lazaro, Bele Buka, Simbolo, annotates. Mana Flaviana's got it. Well done. Who's put a smiley? Very good. Thank you, Jess. So Mount Lazaro, Coco, Buka, annotate function. Say ita hare ita niya screen ne status bar ne buka more, depois buka simbolo hanesan lapiseira, click hela kukutok. Manambada's doing really well. Excellent. Okay, I'm just going to move on with the people who have managed to get the annotations. Clear all drawings and go on next. Okay, please put in the correct punctuation marks. Favor usa ita niya annotate. Tau punctuation ita hanisane. Okay, try in this sentence. Maybe one person do it so that it doesn't get too chaotic. Since Mana Mada has got the annotation, can you please, Mana Mada, why don't you try to draw in the annotation on the sentence that you see here? Where do you think the punctuation mark should be? Try, Mana Mada. This is easier with a mouse. Everything is easier with a mouse. Thank you. Mana Mada is putting, I think Mount Mariano is also doing it. You can, okay. Who is red? Let me see. Yeah, Mount Mariano is red. Is that a comma, Mount Mariano? Yep. Okay, Mana Mada is putting in her commas as well. Okay, you put in a comma behind blue, that's good. You put in a comma behind indigo. Oh, dia kela Mount Lazaro. Good effort. Just ita bede acompaña. So please look at what people are doing, and later we'll discuss. Ita bede for comentario. Okay, great. So you've put the colors of the rainbow are hi Mount Ricky Diak. So this is much easier with a mouse, guys. So somebody has put a dot here. What are you? Is this a full stop?
Full stop.
Yeah, there's a full stop after at the end of your
Mariano.
yes, I see that. Good. So I see everybody's kind of got it. So you can put. So you're right. You're using commas here as a list. Red. Yep. Mount Ricky, are you reading? Please read for us.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm
go for it. Yep. You're not on mute. Yep. Go for it. The colors of the rainbow are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Yep. So you're using the comma here as a list, as part of a list. So you're right. You can put commas here. I wouldn't actually put the comma here, indigo and violet, but that's fine. You can put. I think this is not wrong. You can also put colon here. Show that you are starting a list. Okay, good. Well done. Let's go on to the next
Okay.
example. Okay, well done, guys. So can you put in the punctuation marks here? So, okay, how about Mount Mariano? Now, can you do this? Can you put in the correct punctuation marks in this sentence? After you've started, I'm
So
going to
it
let you
should be
try drawing on the screen. Yep. That's a quotation mark. Okay. What's this one down here? A spotlight. This one here, is this what? Which one are you? Which mark are you? Do you think should be here?
semicolon or something like that.
Okay, you could do a colon. We can talk about ways to do that. You can do a colon to show that you're starting the quotation, and here is a quotation mark. How about here? Anybody else want to add?
Yeah.
Who else can? Mana Flaviana, do you want to add another punctuation mark? Okay, you've added a colon. Okay, you've added. Is this a comma that you're putting here, or a colon?
Colon actually.
You could put a colon. My preference is to use a comma. Okay, Mana Mada has put something yellow here. Mana Mada, do you want to tell us what you are putting here? Yeah, you deleted it. It was correct. Mana Mada? Yep.
It's like
Oh, exclamation mark. Exclamation mark, is it? Yeah. Sorry? Oops. Oh dear, couldn't hear you. Maybe you can type it. Is Mana saying exclamation mark? Since the sentence told you he shouted, this is correct. You can put an exclamation mark. Yeah. In fact, apostrophe. Very good. Who put the apostrophe here is
Yes.
correct. An apostrophe here is correct because
Yes.
it shows that you are shortening. Is you are lying, but you shorten it to an apostrophe. That's great. Okay. And lastly, you need to close because you open the quotation. You need to close the quotation. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go on to the next. So put a comma. You can put a colon, but nowadays people prefer to open the quotation with a comma, and then please put a space, and then put double quotation marks, and then close the quotation marks, and in between put the apostrophe. Good. So you can see already in a short sentence you have used five actually types of punctuation marks. So this is really important in professional English, not only the correct punctuation marks, but also the spacing. All this is important when you're doing professional English. Okay, in the interest of time, I'm going to go on to the next one without asking you to annotate. We cannot go to the office. We have to work from home. This is the sad life that we are this is the difficulty that we are facing every day. Where do you put the punctuation marks? Here. We can't, apostrophe, cannot go to the office, semicolon, right? Mount Ricky, thank you. And you can see it's a small w, so it's the same sentence. We have to work from home. The semicolon connects two sentences that actually make sense on their own, and you end with a full stop, okay? Later, we're going to talk about how do you know that is a complete sentence that makes sense on its own. So today, what we are going to talk about is parts of speech and also a little bit about sentence structure. Now, when I say parts of speech and I talk about things like past participles, gerunds, tense, sometimes people get very panicked. They start to think like, oh my goodness, this is so complicated. But let me tell you a secret, okay? When we are talking about parts of speech, actually it's the same when Mount Allah is trying to teach me about the car. If you open the boot and then you start telling me, this one is the ABS unit, this one is the spark plug, this one is the fuse box, I get very panicked and scared. And I think, oh no, I can't. If I touch it, I might get shocked. all that I need to know for me when I'm learning about the car, all that I want to know is where is the part where I put the oil? Where is the part where I put the water? If there's smoke coming out of this part, what should I do? Okay, so when we are learning English, when we are learning the parts of speech, we keep it very simple. The only reason why I want to know about where is the oil, where is the water, is so that I can take care of my car. In the same way, the reason why we must learn about parts of speech is so that we are able to make good sentences, so that we are able to correct our sentences when they are wrong, and so that we are able to learn and understand when we read other people's English. Okay, so my goal for you is to be able to recognize the parts of speech by the end of this session. And there are 8 parts of speech: nouns, adjectives, pronouns, verbs, adverbs, conjunctions, prepositions, and interjections. And you say, this is a very long list. How am I going to remember this? I'll break it down for you. So let's go. We divide it into different kinds of parts of speech. Each of these parts of speech every word is one of these things, and they are grouped together. Okay, so the first group that we talk about is nouns. Okay, so nouns are things, persons, places, or ideas, and they go together with pronouns and adjectives. Then we talk about verbs, and verbs are actions. Okay, verbs go together with adverbs. You can see the words are similar, right? Verb and adverb. It goes with actions, and this one tells you what the action is like. Lastly, we look at conjunction and prepositions. These are sort of like joining words. Remember the first lesson I mentioned that words like and, or are conjunctions because they join things together. And lastly, interjections, which you don't really use in professional English. For example, in Timor, the only interjection I heard is "epa," but every language will have different interjections, and English is no different. Okay, so the first group I told you about is nouns, pronouns, and adjectives. These are people, places, things, ideas. So a tree is a noun, flower is a noun, fruit is a noun. Okay, in Tetun you would call this a substantivu, right? So the name of a person, place, thing, or idea, that's all, that's a noun. And a pronoun is the word that you use in place of a noun, and the adjective modifies or describes the noun or the pronoun. I give you an example. So let's say if a noun is a woman, okay, then the pronoun you would use is which one? What is the pronoun for woman? Say again. She. Great, thank you. She. So if you can say the woman did this, the woman did that, the woman did this, or you could just say she, right? So unlike in Tetun, which you only have Nia, for English, he or she. Absolutely, very good. And adjective would be if you're describing. So you can say good, bad, old, young, tall, short. All these are adjectives. Okay, so let's try that out. What is this? This is, give me the noun for this thing.
Elephant.
Thank you. This is an elephant. What is the pronoun for this thing? I can say the elephant walked, the elephant sat down. Yes, you want to say something that's not the elephant? You said it. Correct. Yeah, it's an animal. Animals and things are it in English. And give me an adjective, any adjective for this elephant.
Big.
Big, thank you. Can you give me another adjective? Somebody else give me another adjective.
Huge.
Huge, yes, I agree. Elephants are generally huge. One more adjective, please. Oops, sorry. One more adjective.
Tall.
Old? Maybe. He looks a bit old. He looks wrinkled, definitely. Maybe he is old. He could be. He's definitely probably not young. Good. So you could also use adjectives like color. So you could say he's gray or you could say he's brown, depending. If you go a bit closer to the elephant and you feel his nose, you could feel that he is hairy. So use your 5 senses when you are describing. If you went a bit closer still, and the elephant got angry at you, you could say the elephant is fierce. Or if the elephant was very gentle with you, you could say the elephant is gentle. You could say the elephant is friendly. You could say the elephant is healthy. You could say the elephant is any number of things. So an adjective helps you describe the picture and give more color to your description. Okay, how about this? Let's try this. Can you give me a noun to describe this picture? You can choose anything. You can. There's a number of nouns that you can use to describe this picture, but you can. How about this? Try finding a noun that describes this picture.
Crying.
Lady.
Crying. Okay, good question. Is crying a noun or is it an action or is it a verb?
It's
Lady?
like describe.
So remember that an adjective is what helps us describe the noun, but crying is an action. You can, in this case, it's an action that is, you put an ing. In some cases in English, that makes it a noun, the action of crying. Okay, for example, I can say crying is sometimes good for you. That's a noun. Okay, but if I say cry is not a noun. Cry is a verb. Cry is an action, right? So I'll allow you to say crying. Okay, what if I said sorrow? Sorrow. Is sorrow a noun? A noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. So sorrow is a feeling. It can be a noun. Does that make sense? Or doesn't make sense?
So you mean like the noun is, if like crying become a noun, is like we talk about the crying example, like
That's right.
crying is the good things to do when you are sad or
That's
like
right,
that.
Mana. That's right. So in this case, because you mentioned crying, I think this is an example that can cause some people to be confused, because they say, I thought you said cry is a verb. Now why do you say it's a noun? Because in English, when you put ing, then it can become a noun because it becomes the act of crying. Okay, so in English, be careful. Sometimes nouns can look the same as verbs, but it depends on how it's being used in the sentence. Okay, so for the rest of us, what if you want to describe this? When there's water coming out of somebody's eyes, what is the noun for that in English?
Tears.
Tears, thank you. Tears. Is tears a noun or not?
Noun.
Is it a thing? Yes, tears is a noun. Okay, so you can use, so crying, sorrow, tears, you can use any of these, can be a noun that would describe this picture. But sorrow is a bit of what you call an abstract idea. Abstract meaning that you can't actually see it or measure it, but you definitely can feel it. It's a part of our human experience. So love is also another noun. Hadomi, domain ka? Hadomi is a verb, right?
Domain.
It's the difference between domain and hadomi. So domain is a noun, but hadomi is a verb. Does that make sense?
Lost.
Yeah, claro.
Okay, cool.
Thanks.
So this is very important because you need to identify which is the, okay, so let's say if I say sorrow, if I wanted to say sorrow is a natural part of human life, then I want to say something else about sorrow. I want to say sorrow is common. Sorrow is it is normal to feel sorrow. So I want to say it is. So if I want to use a pronoun for sorrow, then I would say sorrow is a normal part of human existence. It is normal. It can be normal. So I've used the word pronoun, the word it as a pronoun for sorrow. Okay, crying can be healthy. Full stop. It can be good for you. Crying. So the pronoun for these abstract terms is usually it. If the noun here is tears, then I would probably say tears are. Pronoun is a plural. So tears are part of your body's natural defense. If I want to describe how tears can protect our eyes, so I say tears can protect our eyes. They are helpful. They are a natural part of your body's response to, say, irritating things that fly into your eye. So the pronoun follows the noun. And adjective, so you may ask, how can I describe tears? Well, you can cry happy tears. If you are so happy that you cry, then you can cry happy tears. And in this case, happy is an adjective that describes your noun. You can cry regretful tears or bitter tears or sad tears or sorrowful tears. So these are all adjectives that describe the noun of tears. Does that make sense? Any questions about tears, about sorrow?
Claro.
Okay, good. So we talked about nouns, pronouns, and adjectives. Well done. You already covered 3 of the 8 parts of speech. Now we'll talk about verbs and adverbs. Now, verb is an action such as walking. Okay, can somebody give me an adverb for walking? Give me something that describes the way I'm walking. Give me a word that describes the way I am walking.
Walking alone.
Walking alone. You say alone, Mount?
Yes.
Yes, you can say I'm walking alone as opposed to walking with other people. Can anybody give me other verbs, other adverbs?
I'm walking to office.
Walking to office. Now, the to is a preposition
Walking
because it's
slowly.
telling me where you're going. Thank you very much. Walking slowly. Now that tells me how I'm walking. The to tells me where my position, where I'm walking towards. But for an adverb, you want something that describes how you are doing the action. So walking slowly. What's the opposite of slowly?
Fast.
Yep, I'm walking fast. I'm walking quickly. I'm walking rapidly. Okay. So the adverb tells you that this woman is, so the verb is this woman is walking. The adverb tells you this woman is walking slowly or walking quickly. Good. So we talked about nouns, pronouns, adjectives. We talked about verbs and adverbs. Well done. So let's try it out. Alito's mother scolded him loudly. In this sentence, there is a noun, there is a pronoun, there is a verb, and there is an adverb. Can Mana Flavia tell me which one is the pronoun? Try. Remember that a pronoun is the way of
Loudly.
shortening. Loudly. Try again. When
Yeah.
I'm looking for a pronoun, I'm looking for the short form of the noun. And a noun is the person, place, or thing, or idea. Okay, so if a noun is a person, place, thing, or idea, and a pronoun is the shortening, is the short form of the noun. The pronoun is like nia. Where is the word that is like nia in this sentence?
Him.
Very good. The pronoun is him. Okay. Let's see. Mount Ricky. Where is the noun? Which one in this sentence? What do you think is the noun? Which word is the noun? Try. Remember, a noun is a person, place, or thing. Who is the person in this sentence?
Alito.
Alito? How about his mother?
Alito's mother, sorry.
Okay, so Alito is a noun, mother is also a noun, and this is specifically this is the mother of Alito. Great, thank you. Say if Mount Mariano can give us the verb and the adverb. First, the verb.
Scolded and loudly.
Great. Okay.
Scolded.
Verb, scolded. That's the
loudly,
action.
adverb.
That's right. She not only scolded him, but she scolded him loudly. Great. Very well done, guys. So we've identified pronouns, nouns, verbs, and adverbs. Yeah, that's right. So now we are going to talk about conjunctions and prepositions. Conjunctions are joining words. Okay, and, but, or, because, since, until, while, though, when, if, as, so many conjunctions, so important for linking and joining words together and phrases together. Prepositions. Okay, a preposition is a word placed before a noun or pronoun to form a phrase modifying another word in a sentence. So confusing, right? Basically, you see this picture? These are all prepositions. And when I was studying Tetun, I had such a difficult time learning all the prepositions. Because I had to learn laran, I had to learn okos, I had to learn letin, I had to learn hadulas, I had to learn bakraik, baletin. So every language will have prepositions. You just didn't know the name for it. Okay, so prepositions are words that tell you where something is in relation to another thing. Okay, so you see, to explain it is harder than to give you examples. Just now when Mount Mariano said, I am walking to office, he's using a preposition because you are telling me the direction where you are going. You see the bottom here? From to. I'm walking from home to office. I am walking from office to home. Okay, so prepositions. Okay, parts of speech. Let's revise. Noun, adjective, pronoun, verb, adverb, conjunction, preposition, interjection. See, that wasn't so bad, right? You have learned the 8 parts of speech. Congratulations. Actually, I kind of lied when I said that there were 8 parts of speech. There's actually 2 more that you need to know about, but they're quite easy to remember. The first is articles. You see this word articles, and that's actually very simple. When you say article, I mean the word the or the word or an apple. And in English, you know, you choose to use either a or an depending on whether the word after that is starts with a vowel or not. So a or an is indefinite and the is definite. So it's kind of like when I tell you a president, I could mean any of the 70 presidents in the world. But if I say the president, you probably think I'm talking about one president. Okay? A founder of Timor-Leste. It could be any one of the founding fathers who founded Timor-Leste. If I say the founding father of Timor-Leste, most people will only think of one person. But because this is about professional English and not about politics, I will not name that person. With all respect to the founders who have made Timor and our other countries. Same for Singapore. If you say the founding fathers of Singapore, then if you say a founding father of Singapore, then I could name any one of Singapore politicians who have founded Singapore. But if I say the founding father of Singapore, most people will think about Lee Kuan Yew. So you use the and a and differently in English, depending on what you are trying to communicate, what you are trying to say. Verbals are basically different ways that you can change a verb to make it mean something different. And it's simple. Let's say if I take the example of smoking cigarettes, okay, you can make it you can use the past tense, I smoked. You can make it the present tense, I am smoking. You could make it a gerund, which is when you add on ing. Remember I said just now that you can make a verb into a noun in English. You can make an action into a thing. If you put on an ing, then it becomes the habit of smoking or the act of crying. So I can say smoking is bad for you. And in this case, I have made smoking into a noun, the act of smoking. And infinitive means, so I talked about past, I talked about present, and now I talk about the future. Infinitive means I'm going to smoke. I am going to smoke later. Later, I am going out to smoke. Okay, so this is the same verb, the same action, but by changing parts of the word, you can, in English, you change whether you're talking about it having happened in the past, whether it is happening now, or whether it is going to happen in the future. Okay, so we talked about nouns, pronouns, adjectives, verbs, adverbs, preposition, conjunction, interjection, and then we talked about articles and verbals. But essentially, basically, we are still talking about the same 8 parts of speech. Whew, okay, we are 2/3 of the way through. I'm going to be late for my next meeting, but we will go through this part about sentence structure. Now, a sentence is a group of words that expresses a complete thought in English. But how do you know whether a sentence is good English, is a complete thought? In English, you need a subject, a verb, and sometimes an object. Okay, what's an example of a subject? The dog. Verb, chased, because chased is an action. And the object, which is usually another noun. So the dog chased Maria. Okay, in English, the order is very important. this is not the case for all languages. In some languages, it doesn't really matter which order the subject, the verb, and the object are in. But in English, it matters very much, okay? The subject comes first, and then the verb, and then the object. The subject is what the sentence is about, and the object is what is happening, what the thing to which the verb is happening, okay? Again, when you're talking about English, it's usually very difficult to explain and easier to just show you. So if subject, verb, object, the dog chased Maria, what if I were to rearrange the sentence and say, Maria chased the dog? The sentence is exactly the same, but the order is, the words are exactly the same, but the order is different. The meaning has totally changed, right? In the first example, I said that the dog chased Maria. Subject is the dog, object is Maria. And now I say Maria chased the dog. Maria is the subject, and the object is the dog, which is being chased by this girl. Okay, subject, verb, object. So hang on, I just talked about parts of speech, the 8 parts of speech: noun, adjective, pronoun, verb, adverb, conjunction, preposition. I thought this is all the funny new words I have to learn. Now how come I have to learn about subject, verb, object? What's this got to do with what I just told you? Well, when you make a sentence in English, you need a subject, a verb, and sometimes an object. And usually for the subject and the object, you must choose a noun or a pronoun, okay? For the verb, of course, you choose a verb. And all the other things, adjective, adverb, conjunction, preposition, interjection, they just add it's just like the flowers on top of the car when you get married, you know. It's just to make it look nice. It's like the icing on top of the cake. It is like the garnish on top of your food. It's just to give more detail to the sentence. So the essential part, the important part of the sentence that you need is the subject, the object, the verb, and the object. Okay, and I'm going to give you some examples. Alito's mother scolded him loudly. Yeah, back to poor Alito. Okay, so where is the subject? What is the subject of this sentence? What is the sentence about? Mariano?
Subject
Yeah,
is
Mana
the
Mara,
little
go.
mother.
Yep. Yep, sorry, Mana Mada, can you say that again?
Alito's mother. The
Alito's
subject
mother.
is Alito's mother.
Absolutely, thank you.
The verb.
Yep, thank you. Mana Lucia? Sorry, just now you unmuted. Come, Mana Lucia. Why don't you tell me the verb?
Will be the scolded.
That's right, scolded. And the object is Alito, but he's here referred to as a pronoun as him. Great, thank you. Sorry, Mana Lucia, I didn't call you before now because I haven't met you, and I think it's very rude for me to start asking you questions before I had the chance to meet you. But thank you for
No,
unmuting.
you're good. You're good.
Okay, I'm good, thank you. Okay, I will go ahead and ask you then. Okay, let's try another sentence. Collecting turtle eggs is against the law. Can somebody please give me the subject of this sentence?
Turtle eggs.
Turtle eggs, promising, right? Because the noun, turtle eggs are a noun, and you can't see any other nouns here. There's another noun here, which is the law, but it comes so late in the sentence that in English, usually you won't see it. Remember, I told you that even if it's a verb, if you put an ing behind, it can become a noun, remember? So collecting turtle eggs is actually the, collecting turtle eggs is actually the subject here, because it is the act of collecting turtle eggs. Turtle eggs are not against the law. It is collecting them that is against the law. Okay, so this one is a bit tricky because I give you a subject that is 3 words, that is made of 3 words. Basically, the question you must ask yourself is, what is this sentence about? This sentence is about collecting turtle eggs. If I change it, I can say collecting turtle eggs is how people get money, is how people make a livelihood. Collecting turtle eggs is done on the beach. Collecting turtle eggs is not easy. So I can change anything, any An object is the law, because collecting turtle eggs breaks the law. So the object of the sentence is the law. She ran. She is a subject and ran is a verb. You see, this sentence has no object. I can say she ran to her house. She ran towards her aunt. Aunt would be the object. So you can have a sentence that is subject and verb only in English, and it can be a very good sentence, no problem. But if you want to put in an object, that makes your sentence clearer. Okay, on the other hand, if I say gave the driver $2, something is wrong with this sentence. Okay, what is wrong with this sentence? This sentence does not have a subject. Who gave the driver $2? I only have a verb and an object. So in English, for this to be a correct full sentence, you need to say he gave the driver $2. Subject, verb, object. Whew, okay, sorry, I have to go for my next meeting, so I'm going to end here. But I will send on the group this Google Sheets, this Google Form assessment. So please log in with your computer, with your Maluk Timor address. The attendance password for today's session is NOUN, noun, because now you guys know what nouns are. And I have a bunch of reading materials for you. Thank you so much for your attention, and goodbye.
Bye.